Pull my chain. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, sure it is. You guys all witnessed it. I got him.
Tacos.
AFK for some coffee.
All right, rolling tape. "30 seconds, boys and girls."
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Yeah, you did.
Sniffing glue.
Some people never learn.
Yeah, they should stick to gasoline.
Rolling intro.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. And no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch, no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
This is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
That's right. Bringing you our own brand of news from right here inside the Shrouded Avatar every Monday through Friday at the noon hour for your listening and entertainment pleasure. Today, for the record, August 30th, 2016, Shrouded Avatar. It's Tuesday, and we've got some follow-ups. We've got some continuing discussion, as well as some new and latest updates, the latest scandal sheets for you, as it may be here on MDNN. And, of course, I want to welcome everybody to the show today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in the studio. Those of you folks joining us out in chat. Of course, your listeners out in the radio, WRFB, Radio Free Britannia. We appreciate it. And, of course, we ask you to join us here live every day in studio to discuss the topics of the day, topics of the week, or burning topics on your mind, or just derail the train and say, hey, I got something I want to talk about. Come on in, join us in Discord, go to ndnn.info and use the Discord app located on the page there and come say hello. So how's everybody doing this morning here?
Man, what's up?
Oh, just another lovely day. Another lovely day here in Shrouded Avatar.
Another fun day.
Another fun day. That's right.
Lots of news and lots more discussions to be had today, and hopefully I'll get a word in edgewise today.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I know. I listened to the testing 1, 2, 3.
Well,
I listened to the rebroadcast several times last night. As it replayed, and I had a laugh even at myself. Couldn't give anybody.
It was the Laz show yesterday. He had a soapbox, and he wasn't letting anybody else participate.
Right. I had a couple of soapboxes pop up there.
Even though we do invite the audience into the show just by going to nbnn.info, clicking on the Discord connect button, and then typing in the name that you want us to refer to you by, and then you'll join us in channel and just set up your microphone and everything else, and you can actually talk to us while we're live on air. We don't mind the interruption. In fact, sometimes Laz will even let you talk.
Occasionally, that's right, if you can get a word in edgewise.
Most of the time. Yesterday was an oddity.
Now, we do have some updates for the good folks out there. The folks down at Portalarium have taken quick action in getting a lot of this hashed out and solved.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna reopen yesterday's topic real quick at the top here. We're not gonna go off crazy like we did yesterday. We left off with Marcelo's question. And I'm going to just pose the question out there for the folks to think and ponder while we go ahead and give you some other updated news. And then we'll come back to that and we'll talk about that a little, as well as the other updated news that we've got out there for you. So, of course, the question was to the audience was, what defines a game for you? Would you say virtual property and in-game worth like soda require real-life flaws like in the real world to protect them, leading to it not being able to be considered a game anymore?
I will have to point out, if you actually go back through the history of gaming, and one of the first games that almost everybody has ever played, especially if they ever went to school in the US, was a little game by the name of Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
What?
That's a classic
And
game.
I'm sorry to say, but even my nieces have played this game, and that's where they learned what dysentery is.
I used to play that in school.
I think we've all played it one time. If you've ever played video games, Oregon Trail was probably one of the first you played as a kid.
So
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Really?
he's lying.
No, I'm telling the truth.
Kids
So
get high.
anyway,
So even
I wanna
when
just
I
finish up
was
with the
in
question
elementary
for you.
school in the 1980s, it was a game that was being played. Yes, on
Should've
the
been
Apple
working
II
by then,
computers.
God dang it.
Yeah, that's right.
Just saying.
so can we continue with the question?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so Shroud of the Avatar claims to be about virtues, but bans playing negative virtue or experiencing it. Is that not counter to the basic ideas of Richard's fundamental game structures? We talked about that a little bit. Games in the 1980s versus 2016s. What games would you consider more suitable to teach teenagers about human nature and your own boundaries? Is Soda 2016 a more dangerous game than UO98 in regards to scam abuse options?
No,
Does it require
it's
more
nowhere
rules to make
near.
it enjoyable? And should a game protect every player always from other players' actions? Where do we draw the line? So I want to give the folks that to think about while we go ahead and cover some of the latest topics. Now, of course, we have a stand-up corner from yesterday, of course. We have the latest breaking lottery news for folks out there. Jack, you want to tell the good folks about, I'm sorry, raffle news.
Yeah,
Raffle
raffle
Led Zepp,
news.
would you please?
Yeah.
Disclaimer, this is not a lottery, this is a raffle.
Thank you.
Okay, so one of the things that they have done is they have decided that they are going to push the free raffle tickets to release 34. Remember, the free raffle tickets are only going to players that do not have any kind of housing with their pledge or bundles. So if you have a pledge or a bundle that would actually grant you housing, you will not receive one of these free lottery tickets.
Right.
Then they're giving one of each type. Yes.
If you own an Ancestor Pledge or above, you own a Viking 2-story row bundle or above, if you own a Kobold 2-story row bundle or above, own any quantity of add-on stored deeds, own any deeds won through previous drawings, contests, giveaways, etc. You do not qualify. So
now
I really should have contributed.
I'm going to cut you off before you get started, Laz, because I want to say that I am actually against the raffle, because I still say that, you know what, a player that earns the money should be able to go out and buy a deed.
I agree. We've had this conversation many times.
Then from there, it's one where it's like then they also need to work on the expiration times for the housing, because that is something where, even though at one point in time they said, like, if you were a Lord of the Manor, your house would not expire for 12 months or something ridiculous like that. So a Lord of the Manor wouldn't have to actually log into the game. Right now, it's set up for essentially everybody that has a rent-free deed doesn't have to log into the game for 3 months.
119 days.
Anybody on I've got confirmation from Starr himself that anybody on your permissions list, anybody that logs in in that time frame will refresh your home.
So
just by logging in.
Oh, very interesting.
Like that.
That's
because we were discussing that, and that was a topic we were going to bring up.
That is currently not totally in place yet, but it should be.
Yes.
Because I do have multiple accounts, and I did set up something for some family members so that way they have a house to live in. And even though I own the deed, I gave the house to them and set my brother up as a co-owner because I couldn't transfer the deed at that point in time. And from there, it was one where, you know what, if I didn't log in that character, the time to expiration was actually dropping, even though I was listed as a co-owner. So it is currently not a game mechanic.
Not a functional game mechanic, as it may be.
It may be
make
something
sure
to
you
get
light
to
a match when
later
you're finished
down
over there.
the line. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Getting coffee.
Light a candle. Yes,
He's
so
collecting the fertilizer or dropping the fertilizer bag off.
We've got several differentiating views on this this new twist in the raffle. Of course, there's a lot of people who went out and grinded for their gold, and of course, the NPCs not buying things at normal pricing twist as well put a hurting on that. So the people who spent and earned that gold while the pricing was skewed is reasonably upset that they had to go out and grind twice as hard to get the money to buy into this raffle. And now they're, of course, changing the loot table again, and they're giving away all these extra lottery tickets. Now, some people are going, hey, can we get refunds on these? Hey, can we get a credit on these? Hey, what about the other people? Why are you not giving them to everybody? There's a lot of opinions out there. And of course, as always, we want to know what you think about it.
Yeah, so let's see. Anybody that's in channel that has their mic
Well,
open.
we were talking with Mac earlier. Is Mac still here?
Yeah, he is.
Yep, I'm still here.
Now, we were talking about this just a bit earlier, and go ahead and just repeat for the folks what you were telling. We agree that this is a good thing for everybody, all in all, yes?
Yeah, and I, for one, and I'm sure a lot of other people would also not have an issue at all with giving the ability in some form for players who weren't able to spend, masses of money to get a lot. For them for those people to have the ability to get lots in game, without all of the more fortunate people just eating them all up. But I don't know if the raffle
big concern of everybody.
is the best thing to do.
Yeah, everybody's been concerned about big gills buying up all the tickets and monopolizing all the land. And a lot of people going, hey, this is a good deal for all those folks who don't get a chance to have that kind of money and be able to buy in that way. Now, of course, you got a lot of people also stating that, hey, I love the idea, but, we're halfway through a raffle cycle. That doesn't make sense. You should have given us some heads up. Anybody got thoughts on that one?
That's why they retracted that statement, and they're pushing the free raffle tickets to release 34.
Oh, this is updated news. I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were looking at the update that was published last night.
I'm looking at the update that says free raffle tickets. Oh, no.
Free raffle tickets in release 34 raffle.
Update. I was not looking at that update.
Hello.
I was not looking at that update.
Yeah.
You slipped that one in.
So it's already squared away.
Yeah, well, they fixed that aspect of it, but at the same time, I disagree with the premise of the raffle in general, just because I think everybody should be able to buy lot deeds wherever. But
it's worked for over 18 years in Ultima.
I like
the lottery. Raffle.
I like to comment on the forums right after they announced that last night. Brickbat from EVL got on there and said that out of his 20 some odd accounts, 11 of them were outraged and 10 of them were thankful.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta read this because it's funny. It's a funny comment, and I've got it here real quick. I believe it was on page 11. But was one of the funniest comments in there is that wasn't page 11.
While you're looking for that, I'd point out that we still don't know how the free tickets are going to be implemented because
it's going to be you're still going to have to claim rewards, and that's the way that's going to work.
Yes, now let's talk about that. How many of these free tickets do we think may go unclaimed from people who are not following the forums, the newsletters?
Yeah, exactly.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, they're getting entered whether they want it or not, so they get a ticket.
Okay, so
I'm curious
have you
as
found
to
it yet?
whether if they claim them or not.
That's one reason that delaying them in game is good, because if the idea is to give the less fortunate players more ability to get lots, then the longer time frame they have, the more people will know about it and be able to come in game to claim them.
And the thing is, there's the upkeep on the lot. Can these people afford that? So there's probably going to be a lot on for sale too.
That's totally up to them. That's where Jack and I said the secondary market comes in, and people who want to get rid of them, can get rid of them.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen in most cases. They're going to realize
I've seen people trading and selling and buying all sorts of different stuff as it is now. People selling, vendors, people are selling.
Yeah.
Marketplace.
If
somebody's got to keep lot deed out there for sale as of this morning, I saw. And
not just that, there's also on Shroud Marketplace, someone put up their rent-free village deed, and I applaud them for doing that. And I think,
wow.
So, but it's one where it's like, these deeds are just going to go. Several of them are going to go straight back into the economy. Now, have you found
I'm going to tell you
the link to Brickbat's comments? That way you can actually read it.
I'm looking for it here real quick. It's not where
I linked it to you. I linked it to you.
I didn't hear it link.
One thing that I think everyone should remember too is that even though lot deeds should hold value the entire duration this game exists, the more players, the individuals that have lot deeds, the more opportunities there are for everybody who's doing crafting for housing items to make gold or real money even.
Well, I don't think having a lack of crafting areas is the problem. But I've got this here, and this is funny, and I happen to be of the same stance as what as many others do. The equality thing. One and all or none. But the quote is, my 14 personal accounts without housing pledges appreciate it, and my 11 accounts with housing pledges are outraged. I do want everybody to have a home, land, etc., absolutely via a work for it in-game mechanism, but something that applies unequally is wrong. If you guys said you were giving every single amount from 25 to 12,000 free tickets, fine, but this method is a penalty, unfair application of generosity.
I agree. It is unfair. It in a sense, backwards penalty.
I could argue the point that people like myself, Jack, Zook, any of the other high money players who have big pledges are being penalized for helping support the game, which is really screwed up if you want to look at it. Just because we were able to help support the game better than others doesn't mean we should be left out in the cold of it. But that's That's opinions, people. That's opinions.
Well, we don't.
Whether they. Go ahead.
We don't know all their reasons necessarily. I mean, we can kind of just guess.
Well, again, we've speculated about that prior to the show, and I'm not going to go ahead and verbally voice that because that's not it's speculation.
There's no reason,
and it's nothing we can confirm, and we really try not to speculate too much on things that, I can speculate it all I want, but whether it's any truth to that, I don't know. But I believe it's got something to do with what we were talking about there. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yep, but throwing that out there first, that we don't know their reasons, I would say that I may not know what's best to do, but my thoughts currently are that those free tickets should either be given to everybody or there should be a separate raffle for those tickets.
Now, I like that idea. It was just a separate raffle altogether. Just hold one big raffle for the whole world and everybody's in it, and yeehaw, have at it. But
this is a one-time deal. How many tickets are there? How many lots? How many lots? I mean, how many lots are?
They're putting up 675 lots available in this raffle.
That's 600 player-owned town-only lots and 75 place anywhere deeds.
That's correct.
Okay, 75.
So there's a lot of lots, a lot of land up there. I mean, when you look at this, it's almost 700 total lots. It's a lot of lots.
It is a one-time giveaway, though, lottery.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so what happens if they run that lottery for the next 4 months? They actually go to launch, and every single lot in the world is completely gone.
See, that's actually something else.
Actually, what they need to do is they need to go ahead and give the players without homes. They need to give them free pot deeds or free pot raffle ticket. Not the place anywhere.
Well, eventually we're going to get to that, and I was just going to state that what's going to happen here is by the time I'm going to assume that there's still going to be extra land left over in the PRTs and quest towns, the storyline towns.
Right.
Slim pickings, we know that. Okay, but by the time we get to that point, most of this land is going to be taken up. It's going to be a small space, and then everything is going to be POTs. And the raffles are going to push people into POTs. It's the only way it's going to be feasible to continue to hold a raffle, which is good for POT owners as well as people wanting to get in and find a place to live. I see that as a win-win. We argued this back back when some of this came out. As a POT owner, I assumed that I was going to be able to buy lots to make and place and do things with, and that wasn't the case. But that was my bad for assuming that. I thought that, as we had seen for the previous year, that we could go make gold, go buy a deed, and that was the way the in-game mechanic was going to work. But they pulled that out from under us. And what are we going to do about it? We lobbied for it. We protested. We started threads. We had a discussion, and in the end, they found a solution that seems feasible. Now, speaking of solutions, let's address the changes that were made yesterday. These guys were right on top of it, and then we'll roll into the stand-up corner from yesterday. But Portalarium was right on top of it. They made very, very quick changes, and I'm going to show you this on my screen. Jack, I don't know if you've got anything on you that...
I do have stuff that's been renamed, so if you have any renamed items, it will actually change the color of the bag.
Yes, now I actually have a Founder's Artisan Tool Reward bag, which is the real deal here, and I'm showing you the color of the bag. The color of the bag has changed.
Not colorblind.
Well, yeah, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, well, we had that discussion last night, too. Man, now you just made another whole problem for the colorblind program. one thing affects another around here, and I can't be, they can't be held liable for all that.
This is one. How do you make everybody happy? You can't. And
I got to give you credit for taking.
I think the
colorblind with.
They have made attempts to actually address the game for the colorblind community, and we do have several members of the community that are colorblind. One that is completely colorblind, and so he does not see anything other than grayscale.
Yeah. Now, one of the good things I gotta say about this change is that I've renamed pets, I've renamed vendors, and sometimes I have a bloody hell of a time trying to find those suckers because I forget what I named them. So the color change is going to help me pin those things out in my inventory list here.
Yep.
Which I really appreciate. But moving right along.
It would take a bit more effort than simply changing the colors. I think the color changes are great, but I mean, for the colorblind people, they could add a symbol next to the different.
My symbol.
That's
reading the item description just boggled everybody's mind. I don't know why that was such a big one.
But going through and actually changing all of the artwork is going to be a lot of dev time.
Yes.
And so this becomes a quick solution.
Anyway, moving right along, let's get to the stand-up corner. We haven't covered that as of last couple of days since
it was a new release. We do know that a lot of the stand-up corner is going to be the NBN drinking game's favorite word.
That's right. So for these guys who play along with the NBN drinking game and don't know what that is, well, if you know what it is, you get ready for it. If you don't know what it is, as we read the stand-up corner, every time Jack says bug and I say bug, you take a shot or a sip or whatever it is you're drinking. And we see how you're feeling when you're done with that. Of course, you guys who are watching and listening and repeats can play at your own pace when you get around to that time of the day in your time zone.
So this is the stand-up corner from yesterday, Monday, August 29th, in Shroud of the Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar.
That's right. Over in the art department, Bob said that he was working on the Elven row homes. Fletcher says he was working on the Halloween concepts. Kevin was working on a bug. And integration documentation and hair. Matt,
integration
documentation. Not immigration documentation. Integration.
Don't deport me, please. Don't deport me.
And this is the one where we need Matt to continue his work on this emote for Sigh and Wait and Shrug and the one-man band.
We need Hissy Fit.
/ Hissy Fit. Reed was working on release 33 bugs.
Bug.
And Dead Tree decorations. Over in design, we had Dan, who said he was working on bugs.
Bug.
And discoveries. And release 33 bugs.
Bug.
And release 34 planning. Finn, I know. Finn, our troll hunter, was working on gates and interactive animation timings. And Keith said he was working on bugs.
Bug.
And Novia collision. Sorceress Steve, trying to teleport as he works on bugs.
Bug.
And S-Guard. Over in tech, we have Eric working on bugs.
Bug.
And player home navigation. Jason was working on exploits and matchmaking and the login queue.
Matchmaking.
I know, yeah. And then Wizard Smoke.
Wait.
I know.
What is player home navigation?
Player home navigation is like your NPC pets that are supposed to remain on your lot, that they actually navigate around objects and everything else. It's part of the artificial intelligence.
Darn, I thought maybe my house was going to be able to find me while I was questing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Look out,
But
Hey, it's the
if you
Let me
think
push the
about
button
it,
and have it come to
the NPC pathfinding and that AI actually gets implemented later on into the monster AI, and so that way they have better pathfinding. I'm sure that you were around when you had things running straight through objects instead of trying to running around them or running over, and so.
Oh yeah.
So it's stuff that they're working on. Then Wizard Smoke. It's working on bugs.
Bug.
And item renaming. One and only the Deathbringer is working on bugs.
It's beat, man. Bug.
And bugs.
Bug.
Burning Toad still trying to find that itch to scratch as he works on the build master.
Burn.
And bugs.
Bug.
Tassilo is working on account refactoring and for expirations. Over in QA, we have Reese working on sanity testing and QA interview preparation. And Serafina is working on customer service and more customer service.
More customer service.
Exactly.
Service
And then,
with a smile. New girl,
exactly. Yeah. Then we have the production management and other group where Brecken's coming into the office and working on QA forum bugs.
Bug.
And she's love quest testing.
Ooh.
Dippy Bird is working on bugs
Bug.
and exploits and systems review. Then Gorn, still trying to put back on his Zardoz costume, is working on updates and add-ons and general business.
Business.
That's right.
Taking care of
Barrick is
business.
working on SyndCon report and moderator meeting and community cleanup and reports. Hutch was working on bug fixing
Bug.
and player town polish and player town form support. Lord British still working on the questline review and haunted house planning. Ooh. Whoa, wait. Haunted house planning and DragonCon prep.
Yeah.
Chaos is working on, I know, DragonCon. I know some people that are getting ready to leave. Chaos is working on add-on store support and patch notes and database and customer service. And last but not least, we have Darkstar, who is working on Release 34 planning and bundle planning and Syndicon report. So the Syndicate Guild had their annual meeting, so their convention.
Very nice,
I hope that
very
went
nice.
well. Yeah.
Good notes. You sound like you're stuck in last night's stream still, being nice and mellow, man.
Oh,
you know, like,
yeah.
So anyway, I got a question statement from Katrina Magencia out here, and all it says is Drippy Bird, and it's actually Dippy Bird.
Dippy.
You want to tell the folks the Dippy Bird story real quick for those folks who are not up to why some of our devs have certain nicknames?
You can tell them the Dippy Bird story and why he's Dippy Bird.
If you go back to the days when Portalarium first started streaming, Chris would set up a Dippy Bird, and he put him on stream, and all you saw on stream was the Dippy Bird going for the water and coming back up and going for the water. And he got the nickname Dippy Bird through that, I believe, is what the story is. Is that correct, or somewhat to the point?
Yeah, it's close enough. We interpret the news, so you don't have to. So
that's right.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch some of the very early Portalarium streams, yes, you will see hours of the Dippy Bird just sitting there doing his things while they put little notes and stuff in front of him. It's pretty funny, but it gets old real quick.
If you go into their offices at times, you will see Dippy Bird drawings where they actually turned it into a joust that he's doing. So he's Dippy jousting.
I think I've seen that before.
Yeah. So they've done a few of them.
But anyway, moving right along. We got this out of the way. We've got the lottery. The raffle. Let's up, please.
This is not a lottery. This is a raffle. Discover 2016.
That's right. It is not a lottery. It is a raffle. Going back to yesterday's topic, we're going to delve back into that for a little bit, and I want to just go on to what
before you do that, I would.
Okay.
There was actually an article that came out on MMORPG.com about Shroud of the Avatar.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. And I posted the link in Discord earlier. And I'll do so again. If I can ever find Discord. And
this pictures posted earlier.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is one where this is actually a pretty negative review on MMORPG about the state of the game since they have gone to persistence. And several of the issues that are brought up in this article, which is called A Shroud of Confusion, are dead on. Others are kind of miss the point. And so overall, he does give the game a score of a 5 on a 10 scale, and it says at this point I wouldn't buy it. And this is one where it's, even though the world's gone persistent, we still have to remember that the game is still in development and it still hasn't been launched.
It's in stage of development.
So Led Zepp?
What?
Disclaimer.
I was preoccupied.
Now,
disclaimer, 2016.
Get your hands out of your pants, please. Now, of course, let me point out that the whole topic of Shrouded Avatar, is this right, has a hype level of 7.81. Is that
is correct? Yes.
Yeah. So overall, users are giving it a 7.8 plus out of a 10 rating. Which is not too bad for pre-release either.
No.
Now these guys do a good job of covering Shroud. They do releases just about monthly on them, and of course he's a player giving it to you the way he sees it, and I got to respect that as well. He usually does good job covering it, and of course we know there's work needed there. I'm not going to read the whole article right this minute. But we just want to make folks aware of it.
We can skip to the second page. And where he does offer the summary of the events in his the scoring of things, and there will be some things that you actually do agree with and some you disagree with. So as far as
the second page down there, because again it was too long to read right now.
Yeah. So
let's look at the scoring here, because I am curious and I'm looking at it now. So let's take a quick look
gameplay.
At that.
He does give it a 7, which is in theory, Shroud of the Avatar offers everything that you would expect from a sandbox game. Even more than that, if you consider that there is or should be an actual storyline. The implementation, however, is often unfinished or clunky. And that is one where we have discussed the story-related elements and the amount of quests. And
absolutely.
That's one where the reason the game is being pushed back is story.
Story.
They're working on it, and we also have to remember that the person primarily working on that is Lum, with some assistance from Gina and occasionally other people in the office. But primarily it's one person writing all of the official dialogue in the game. And
disclaimer.
Yeah, and so far he's written several 100,000 of lines of dialogue. Then visuals and sound. The visuals are dated. Especially the character animations need a lot of overhaul. That does not mean with the right lighting conditions you won't be able to find a nice looking scenes, though. The music is not standing out but blending in nicely. I'm sorry to say, but if the visuals being dated, it is also based off of period piece.
Yeah, see, I've heard that several times. That's it's supposed to be that way, people. Hello?
Yeah, so if you're looking for space graphics and
if you want Star Citizen, go play Star Citizen, please.
Then polish. In its current state, Shroud of the Avatar is the antithesis to a polished game. It's still in development. They have not. Yeah. The user interface. The user interface, which is actually one of our key gripes about the game, and general information delivery to the player lead to a lot of confusion. That is actually a very accurate statement. A lot of content is either missing completely or half-baked. At least you can observe constant improvement. Yes, they are still working on it. We're essentially playing a pre-alpha game. Not even all the
Final Wipe is not launched. Final Wipe is not launched. Disclaimer 2016.
Well, not only that, but if we actually even look at our skill trees, not all the skills are even implemented into the game currently, even in the combat system. If you actually look at your chaos tree, the controlled demon is not even there yet. So that's still a system that still has to be put into place. And then our crafting, we do know that they plan on working on agriculture. Right now there's currently 0 skills in it. I mean, all of the skills trees are not even fully developed yet, but that should be coming in the next several months. So the reason that they went with the persistent world was so that way people can level up and not have to worry about wipes, and they can get better data that way. Because that was the reason that a lot of people were not playing. So, but back to the article, we also have the longevity of a 7. Longevity in a sandbox game is typically mainly defined by yourself as you have complete freedom. Many will not know what to do after a couple of hours. Others will think thousands of hours into the game.
Well, see,
still
complete freedom.
Yeah,
that's I'm going to argue that. Yeah.
And I know you plan on staying in the game for probably a decade, if it's still around.
I'll be here as long as the game's here.
Yeah, and then still, even for a sandbox game, besides player-created events and group activities, the choices for diversion seem to be limited.
I'll let Zeke speak to that. Yeah. Zeke, do you want to tell the folks what your quote was about the life of this game and how long you're going to be here?
Oh, I'll be here till...
I'll tell them what you said in the forums.
So we throw them out, god dang it.
Oh, I was here before its birth. I'll be, and if it's destined to die, I'll be here to lay it to rest.
That's right. Amen, brother.
Yeah. Then value, the huge initial paywall for tax-free housing in good locations. We will have to see how it is working out now with the raffle, and the creative ways of collecting more money on the way left a somewhat bitter taste. But even putting this aside, in its current state, I would have a hard time justifying why this game would be worth $45. Not to mention the thousands some players have dumped into the development. This is one where it's... I also have a disagreement with, because I completely disagree, because the paywall for tax-free housing was to actually back and fund the development of the game. And so it was a pledge reward. It wasn't... I'm paying this much money to get just the house and the development. I was also backing the game.
Absolutely.
And then the $45, then we don't know how well the raffle is going to work or what's going to end up happening with the raffle. But yeah.
And see, that right there that you just mentioned, Jack, that is the dividing line between who should get the free raffle tickets and who shouldn't. We are backers. People who came in and backed the game were backers. We should be ecstatic to see them giving away those tickets to new players coming in. Now that's my view on it. I mean, we're backers. You know?
Absolutely, I understand that, but being penalized for being a backer is I don't either.
Yeah, but I don't see it as a penalization. We took a firm stance. We made a decision to back the game. These people were coming in buying $45 pledges to play the game. So there's a difference between a player and a backer.
So when they were giving out free portable ether vibration amplifiers, if they excluded you because you're a backer, would you be pissed?
No, because I gave my $5.
That's what I'm saying. If they excluded you, if they gave away that wasn't a $5 pledge. We gave everybody who had an account at
every
Final
backer,
Wipe night. Every
even
backer
the $45, Even the $45 was actually a backer.
That wasn't a $5 pledge during a telethon. So if you were a backer and you were excluded from that reward, would you be pissed?
I, for one, would not have spent as much money, even though I would still have wanted to back the game. I would not have spent as much money if I wouldn't have been getting a lot deep.
Some of us are crazier than others.
Well,
I really did invest as much money as I did for lot deeds.
I thought that the headsets were given to people that gave $5.
No, they were given. No. They were given to everyone. But
they were given to everybody who had an account valid. Did they at the end of the telethon, first telethon?
Okay, but they didn't give all the other telethon awards to them, right?
That's correct.
Only if they paid $5, correct?
Well, okay. Well, then fine. Let them have the headset, because a lot of the people that's got headsets on now wouldn't be listening to this show.
Well, I'm just trying. I'm using that item as an there. You know,
let them have the headset
from one of those rewards just because you were a backer. You know, I'm sorry. I backed because I wanted to see the game built. I didn't back so I could be excluded from the perks that they're going to give everybody.
The way I look at it is, I'm a backer. I'm pleased to see them spread the wealth. I'm pleased to see them doing things that are productive to make the game grow, and that's basically what they're doing.
Oh yeah. Got no complaints there. But since my partner has managed to derail the whole rest of the show so that we have no time
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, because we do have to talk about the pros and the cons real quick before we go into the long calendar again. So pros, we do have a player-driven economy, which is actually a good thing, because remember, the best items in-game are not the ones that you buy on the add-on store. They are the ones that are created by players. Rich, tedious crafting system. I don't know if I don't even know what to say about that, because the certain aspects of the crafting system, when I have to craft 20 recall scrolls and it takes forever just because of the amount of time, it's tedious. I don't know.
The time sinking some of these things.
Yeah. Sandbox invites you to explore and write your own story, which is actually really good, because that is part of it, is especially with the story. Then skill-based progression. The skill-based progression is actually kind of cool, because there is no templates. You get to do whatever you want to with the allocation of points. Although as people become several 57-time GMs, it just becomes what they're using with the deck. The cons: confusing new player experience. I absolutely agree with this.
That's a con?
Well, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if you actually go back,
economy people.
If you go back, back on track, because so that way we can get through this. Dated visuals and user interface. I don't care about the dated visuals complaint, but the user interface does need significant improvement. I would put those two different things. Far too few quests. Those that are there lack inspiration. That's actually true. But at the same time, we're still in development. Most of this stuff is going to be ended in the next several months. The immersion-breaking glyph system in combat lacks dynamics. We're not pulling out Laz's soapbox, because of the glyph system really does suck, but it's also a lot less complicated than other games where I've had to hit Control-A, Control-Z, Control-F, then also Alt-A, F-D to do other things.
The glyph system combined with all of that. Yeah. And I just, this is the glyph system needs to be thoroughly overhauled, as well as the combat lacking dynamics. At least nobody's one-hit killing anything, or two-hit killing anything, unless they're way below their levels. Single player and MMO mix leads to issues with both. Yeah, that's true. And that's something that we've discussed several times on the show before. But this is an MMORPG article. You can go find it if you just look on their homepage or on their game listing to look at Shroud of the Avatar. So
And I did link it into the channels earlier.
MMORPG.
Yep. Which is actually a phrase created, or an acronym created by Starr and Richard Garriott for Ultima Online.
Ouch.
Okay. Ouch. And this game is more of a hybrid, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, but it's...
Well, we're not going to get into it later.
We're not getting into today. Yeah. But we do have to move along to our community calendar because we've got 10 minutes left of the show. And so our community calendar is provided by Avatar Circle, which can be found at avatarscircle.com. We also host it on NBNN. If you click on nbnn.info and click on the calendar button, you can get to it. The calendar is currently administered by Kazan Phoenix Fire or Wrath Phoenix in Discord or on the forums. All times are Central Standard Time, or as we prefer to refer to it, New Britannia time. Today, at noon, 3, 6, 9, and 12, midnight, around the clock, we do have two idiots that are not really talking about anything substantial on a show called Lunch with Laz and Jack on Radio Free Britannia. I know. At 2 p.m. we do have the PAX Layer Town Manager Hour, where you can join Sean Silverfoot and talk about any of the PAX Layer community issues. That includes any of the town of PAX Layer or any of its boroughs, including Dragonwatch, Tentakill, Lockbriar, Island of Wonders, Nowhere, Sea Nymph Grotto, and Serenity Isle. At 6 p.m. on Avatars Radio, we do have Dr. DJ Selly doing his Faster and Louder show. If you're interested in some PvE, you can join the EVL Guild with their Monster Mash Dungeon Crawl. This is the Tuesday night edition, which starts on the overworld map outside of Owl's Head. If you're interested in a dungeon run of the Chillblains Compendium of Pain and Suffering, you can join the Jade Dragons Guild. Just message, I believe, Malhari with that information, and you can join those guys. And then after that, we do have 2 more events for the evening. That is going to be on Avatars Radio, DJ Lady Addie doing her 80s and more show. And then the final event is going to be Ember Flame doing Temper Tantrum Tea Days on Avatars Radio between 10 and midnight. And that is our community calendar for Tuesday, August 30th in Shroud of the Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar.
And then we do...
I gotta lay off the peyote.
As far as like community goes, I do actually have an update for everybody. Apollox Evanhart came out of his surgery. Apollox Evanhart is out of his surgery. He is doing well. He's on the road to recovery. The drugs are making him feel very happy.
Yes, I saw that earlier. Picture shared out there, man. It looks like that was rough, but again, we wish him speedy recovery. He's up and around, and we're gonna go ahead and get our sponsors out of the way. I gotta apologize for not getting to the topics we promised today, but we'll get to that. That I promise.
Lies.
But, yeah, I know. It's
sponsors time. Got 7 minutes left.
I'm looking for it.
We do have to thank our our latest sponsor, which is Wake Up New Britannia with Wolfram and Celine on Radio Free Britannia, Saturday mornings with their Who Are You segment of where they interview people in the community for Shroud of the Avatar. Our latest Patreon, which is going to be the BMC Guild. Don't tell me you're still looking for it.
Nope.
Okay. So thank you to the BMC Guild for becoming our latest Patreon. Then we also have our other sponsors, which are going to be sodacrafting.wiki and sodacraft.com for all of your crafting needs. Please do visit both sites. Take it away, Laz.
Okay, you caught me scrolled. Where were you? When you start and run with this, I leave it to you. Don't scroll me right in the middle of it, damn it.
Soda taming time.
SodaTaming.com, man. You're bringing me down with that Nice quiet voice today, man. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
I got to lay off the peyote.
I know. So to taming.com for all your taming needs out there. I hope he's get that up to date. The taming has changed quite a bit, so keep up on the updates out there for all your taming needs. Our good friend over at sodamap.com, Jacob White, sodamap.com is truth, so says the Lord British. If you have any problems getting around the world, you want to find out where you are, where you're going, use sodamap.com, use the search feature, tell you where you're at, and show you exactly where your location is. Our friend over at relicsbyrill.com, been getting you all that licensed Shrouded Avatar swag. If you want your t-shirts, you want your hats, you want your patches, you want your coinage, anything else Shrouded Avatar officially licensed swag, head over to relicsbyrill.com. Use the promo code NBNN. Get 10% off your purchases out there. And of course, last but not least, our friends over at the Marketplace, Shroud Marketplace, for all your virtual vendable needs. Jack, tell the good folks about the Marketplace and what they can get out there.
Shroud Marketplace is the place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. That includes the most recent item that was put up for sale, which is a tax-free Founder Village lot deed, which was placeable anywhere in the world, including water lots. And then don't forget, if you register as a vendor, today is the last day. If you register as a vendor and put up one item for sale on the Marketplace, your account will be upgraded to the Gold plan, free of charge for 3 months. Then after that, don't forget, look at that. We've got two Lord Benefactor's houses right next to each other, completely different prices. So if you are looking for the steal of the century, you can get that Lord Benefactor's house for $150. Don't forget, if you are interested in earning real-life cash for your services in-game, you can always register at shroudmarketplace.com and list your services just like Laz has with Weddings and More by Laz. Take it away, Laz.
That's right, Weddings and More by Laz, for all your weddings, guild parties, anniversaries, birthdays, or you just want to throw a beach party on an island. Come check out Weddings and More by Laz, your island destination getaway.
Then after that, don't forget, shroudmarketplace.com is the place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. All of the gold is sold out. Hopefully someone starts putting more gold up for sale soon. Then we have to thank our most important sponsor, and that is you, the guys that sit there and watch and listen and communicate with us, either in Twitch, YouTube, or in Discord. We try to pay attention to all of those and interact with everybody. So thank you guys for doing what you do. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do the show that we do, and we thank you, and we do it for you.
That's right. You guys are the lifeblood of what we do out here, and we appreciate it. We love you guys. We love seeing you guys chatting with us here in game, joining us in Discord, comments on Twitter, Facebook, and of course in the forums everywhere else where you guys go ahead and give us feedback. You can always get us in game. Just PM me or Jack. We're usually available throughout the day to answer your questions, as well as just give you general help in the game. You're looking for something in particular, looking for a vendor, you're trying to find out where to get the greatest skills or find a skill trainer, give us a shout out. We're always willing to drop a line and give you guys a hand. And of course, without you guys, all this would not be possible. So we got to thank each and every one of you guys for showing up, supporting us day in and day out, and keeping us going. Jack, you want to go ahead and wrap it up? Take us on out of here.
You know what? We still even have a minute and a half. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, minute and a half. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this topic up to the floor out there for everybody. Anybody wants to get back on today's topic, please go ahead and chime in now.
The taming issue.
What taming issue? Fix taming.
Yeah, right. Like neutered? Is that what you mean? Fixed?
They castrated it.
Don't hate me because I'm named. Hey, I know you can get 3 cheap books of unlearning, man. You can go down to the vendor down in the corner over there. He's got them.
I should get 4. And say, what do you get? 1?
Hey,
they give
man,
you 1,
come
right?
with me into the back room. I'll get you a dozen copies for the price of 4. How's that sound?
You got to use that printing press.
We print our own back there.
Let me go to the forums and put this in.
Got a little gray market going on in the back room there.
It's going to be orange, right?
I'll tell you what. Give me the money and go meet me in the alley. I'll be out there in 5 minutes. All right.
Well, I will say that Coyote Moonman in Twitch chat did say that why not both and have both groups of people to sell to, and I'd had to respond with, I really want anyone and everyone to be able to buy lot deeds where whenever they have money, it gives people a chance to work on a goal. A raffle is just a chance to potentially win something. Some people have better luck than others, especially if you were able to buy a crap ton of tickets. So
I don't know who
there's a reason
Moonman is, but he's somebody who's followed us prior and changed his name because on the follow it said
Okay, well, it's
so
all good.
Whoever it is masking their identity.
Laz is suspicious now.
Hey, it's okay, but we do have to acknowledge what he had to say.
Oh yeah, I understand.
It's one where it's like, are we actually mad at the raffle or any of that? No, we're not.
No, not at all. Yeah. We're just voicing what people have voiced to us. Again, several people put a lot of money in and they changed it because you don't go changing a lottery midstream first.
Raffle.
And you don't go handing out free stuff when people are already buying into it. You just don't do it. You want to talk about bad business policies? Those are bad business policies.
No, put the soapbox away.
We gotta get out of here.
And with that is the time. So thank you everybody again for watching.
Time.
That other guy over there is.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up, folks. Let's go ahead and get it out of here for today. Thanks for watching NBNN. Stay tuned for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy, wild happenings, and the latest happening inside Shroud of the Avatar right here on NBNN. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN. Stay tuned for more. We'll be back tomorrow. Be our last show of the week. Meet us at Dragon Con. We'll cover all that and more in tomorrow's show. Have a great one, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Man, hey, with all those negative vibes, man, you're bringing me down.
We ran over time. It's all your fault.
Vibes, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got nothing but positive energy for you. Let's get the positive energy tripping.
Last been